Welcome to Homekeepers, and if you haven't seen it before, please stay with us. So glad that you're there. My name's Arthelene Rippy, and we are very interested in the homes of America and beyond. And so we try to bring information to you that can make your home better, really. And boy, that can go a lot of directions, can't it? So welcome, come right on in. We appreciate you so much. And it's going to be a good program today. I have a rare guest, absolutely rare. His name is Mr. Herman Hinton, and he is a Deputy Chief Police, retired now from Birmingham. But guess what? He's also written a novel. I told him, I said, oh, you must be one of a kind. And it's called Hidden Relationships of the Homicide Detective. And so he really, I think, knew a whole lot of what he was writing about, and we'll get a little more information on that. But more than that, I just hope that as I talk to him, it'll remind you to pray every day for our public servants out there, our firemen, our policemen, those who really, truly, when they go out in the morning, I wonder if their wives and husbands and so forth, just pray, Lord, make sure they come back at the end of the day. So you're going to love this gentleman. And also going to make an easy apple pie. We do a lot of apple pie things around here, and you know why? Our audio man, Rich Nation, just loves apple pies, and he holds us in fear because he could turn our microphones off. So we like to really keep him happy. And I have a feeling that you folks like easy things. Well, this is, the name of it is an easy apple pie. And before I join Stephanie, though, I want to offer you Dr. Young's new book. If you watch the program very often, you know that Dr. John Young has been on the program for 2 or 3 years now, and we have offered his products, the Young Power Shake and all that, but he's written a book about how to discover and build your cellular foundation, because he believes that life is in that blood cell and how to make it healthy. So we're offering this book for a gift of $17.95. That includes the shipping. Just call 1-800-229-0059 and we'll get it out to you. And ask for Dr. Young's book, or the name of the book is called Beyond Treatment. We have had wonderful guests on who have been helped by Dr. Young, and this will give you just a whole lot more information. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. And now I have joined Stephanie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
How's the fan club coming?
262.
All right, we need to get her up to 300. By the time she hits 300, she's going to need a bodyguard. We're going to have to
Maybe I'll give something away when we hit 300. How about that?
Oh, right. That's a good idea. So anyway, that information's on your screen.
Something out of your closet. No.
She you know, she spends time talking to you, on the Facebook and also.
The Facebook.
I have, I get emails that people enjoy your little banter back and forth, but I have bad news. You've really rubbed off on me. This isn't awful. Sister Coupon Queen here. I was in this, years ago we would have called it a department store, clothing and home stuff and all that. And I bought something, and so they gave me a $10 coupon. That's big, isn't it? Do you ever get any $10 ones?
Like Kohl's Cash, you get Kohl's Cash back.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll go check. And I didn't see anything I wanted. So I said, I'm not going to waste money just to use $10. And then Stephanie appeared before me. She said, what about Christmas?
Yeah.
So I bought my boy a Christmas sweater.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
I just bought 2 more Christmas presents today.
Did you?
I did.
And this is August.
This is August.
In case this program re-airs,
Yeah.
December 1st. So anyway, glad to help the people with all those good ideas. And I'm
glad your Christmas shopping
I got 2
early.
gifts bought.
Nice.
And I've committed to her that we're going to have it done in October. So
by November 1st, that's my goal.
All right, what do you want me to do?
Okay, so I have apples, and I have apple butter I'm going to put in here. You have flour, sugar, brown sugar, apple pie spice, and butter. Put all those together, and then you're going to...
You put the butter in last?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have apple...
I'm always dropping things.
Butter.
on the last show.
You are going to be the
last two
You're going to be
shows.
the Jolly Reel this year. I know it.
I'm just going to quit doing this and let you do
You
it.
just stand there and look pretty. That's
I'll
all
do
right.
that.
So that was apple butter I put in there, and then this is flour, sugar, cinnamon, and apple pie spice that I'm going to mix together.
And that's, did you mention that's a store-bought
Pastry, yes.
pastry? Yeah.
Yep. You are more than welcome to make your own. I have, but I like the store-bought one too, because this is called easy apple pie, not be in the kitchen forever apple pie.
Well, we were talking earlier today about how whoever came up with the cake mixes and the biscuits should be canonized. We should put them with all the other saints.
Yep. So I'm just going to mix this up. This is apple butter, flour, sugar, cinnamon pie. Apple pie.
I thought of putting apple butter on there, but I bet it makes it
Just another flavor.
more flavorful and moist.
And I'm going to do something for you.
What's that?
I'm going to take that and I'm going to put my hands in there.
In this?
Yes.
Be my guest.
And you can take this and you can put this in there.
I'm getting a real inferiority complex about this kind of thing. You know, that the apples don't fall all over the floor and losing my confidence.
I have faith. You can do it. Now there was also walnuts that you put in here too.
Yeah. And the that apple butter just makes it stick together a little bit.
Yeah, it adds a consistency and I think a flavor that you wouldn't normally get in an apple pie.
I wonder if Rich is getting excited back there.
I'll just be nice, that's all I can say.
And here is, still hot, but not bad.
You know, fall's right around the corner. This is a great fall dish.
Oh, yeah.
And we're ready for it here in Florida.
I really enjoy when the seasons change, how the food changes a little bit.
Well, you know, it's going to be pumpkin everything soon, so I'm
We're
ready
saving
for
the
that.
recipes.
Okay, so this is crumbly, and I'm just going to put this over the top.
And then Easter has some really good recipes.
Yeah.
And you can put ice cream on this or whipped cream.
That smells really, really good. It's apple pie, though, so why wouldn't it?
Could you really do a bad one, do you think?
I don't think so.
Ooh, this is,
So then you just bake this like at 350.
that's got moisture. Oh, yeah. It's hot.
Delicious.
You gotta taste it, but I warn you, it's hot. Honestly, that's as good as any apple pie I've ever had. Might as well do the easy way. You're gonna like it, Rich.
Like a streusel topping?
Yeah, you're gonna like this one. So, we're glad for you to have these recipes. And if you want to just email us, that's the best way to get it. If you write for it, that's good too. And any offerings you can send, that's good too. Keep us on the air. But stay with me now. I want you to meet my guest.
If you would like a copy of today's recipe, just write to the address on your screen, or you can email your request to arthelene@rippy.org.
To welcome Mr. Herman Hinton, a retired Birmingham Deputy Police Chief for 30 years, married, 4 children, and an author. I want to welcome you, but I just think there's so few of you.
Thank you for having
Do you know of
me
any other policemen who write books?
Yes, ma'am. As a matter of fact, there was one who was employed doing my tour of duty. I don't think he's working as an officer any longer, but he was an author and a pretty good one at that.
Really? I want to mention the books. Is this your first one? Life is so simple when we choose to love God's way.
Yes, ma'am. That's the first one. It's out of print now. I have a
I'm
few
anxious
copies
to
at
get
home, but
into that, yeah.
It's a good book. Excellent.
Great title. And we have a better picture of this one. This one's just out. and we'll show the audience. It's right there. Pardon me, The Hidden Relationships of the Homicide Detective, and that is a novel. And novelists have always interested me, Mr. Hinton, because they sit down with an idea. You sit down to your computer, is that how you do it?
Yes, ma'am.
And then, are you surprised where that storyline goes?
Yeah, very surprised. First of all, I believe that each of us has a book in us. And it's a matter of just putting pen to pad. And once you've done one, it gets a little easier and easier. And of course, this one was a lot easier than this one was, you know. But I felt like I should give something back to the community, you know. And what better way than to do it by way of a novel. Now, anyone who reads the book will know that I'm a devout Christian. There's no doubt about that. It's simply a mild-mannered story about it's not about me. Did
you draw from your own life?
Kind of, sort of, but not really. It was just something that just was in my imagination. You know, I think God gives each of us imagination, and I used it to put it in the book.
You know who writes about the imagination is Oswald Chambers, you know that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay. Maybe we don't put the spotlight on it enough.
Could be.
Imagination.
Could be.
I want to talk a little bit about your life. When you were a little boy, did you say, I want to be a policeman when I grow up?
Believe it or not, when I was a lot younger, I was into cartoons. There wasn't a whole lot of things that we didn't have the video games and et cetera. But I used to love Underdog, the cartoon Underdog. You know, when Sweet Polly's in trouble, I'm not very slow, it's hip, 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 and away I go. And I've always had a soft spot in my heart for the underdog. And it just developed into caring about people, individual people. And I took kind of a circuitous route because I knew at age 21 that I wanted to be a police officer. I got out the military, and I listened to friends and some close relatives and said, you know, this is Birmingham, Alabama. Why would you want to be a police officer in Birmingham? Talked me out of my dream. So I took another route, ended up working at a plant for about 6 years, and I got laid off. That was a bad feeling, you know. I said, well, I'm knocked down, but I'm not knocked out. So I had a pity party for a couple of days, got myself up. Long story short, I ended up working at another plant for about 14 months, minimum wages. Because you had to wait until the police civil service exam come around again. I ended up taking it, passed it, and God put me on the fast track. You know, because I really think that 21 years of age is really too young for a police officer. I was 21. I think so. That's the minimum age now. But I think a police officer should be about 25. Because what have you experienced at age 21? Not a whole lot.
Was it anything like you thought it would be?
It's every bit of what I thought it would be, and then some. You know, everyone that you meet has a challenge. It's another world out there. That world is going on while you and I are sitting here reciprocating. It's another world out there. And I used to tell the guys that I supervise all the time, listen, everyone that you meet is going to have a headache. So what you do, you take your headache, you put it on the shelf, and you help them get rid of theirs. And if you can't do that, I don't need you today.
You were telling me that you made every effort on your beat. How long are you on a beat?
I was assigned to patrol for about 8 years before I made detective. And I worked about 3 different beats, so you can kind of do the math. But what you should do is establish a relationship, even with the bad guys. You know, listen, you guys do what you do, and I do what I do. Now, I'm going to be fair with you, but if I catch you, you're going to jail. You know, and guys, even the bad guys respect that.
Oh, yeah, they would love that.
They respect that.
They would love that.
They absolutely do.
What about close calls? Have you been in any gun battles?
Yeah, I've had some close calls. Believe it or not, the closest call I had was when I accidentally shot myself. Oh, Lord, it's funny in retrospect, but I tell you, sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying, you know?
I know, when you think of this experienced police officer.
20 years.
Yeah.
At that time.
Shoots himself in the leg. That's
broke my tib and feel, but actually, God took that bad and worked it for my good, because that's when I started on this book. It was
Yeah.
a time out in my life, and I ended up writing this book here.
Were you raised in a Christian home?
Oh, absolutely. 11 children, same mother and dad. And we went to church, Sunday school, BTU every Sunday. You know, so yeah, I was absolutely raised in with my mother, Sunday school teacher for over 40 years.
What a blessing.
No doubt.
What a blessed home you came from.
So sometimes maybe I didn't do right, but I knew better.
Oh, yeah. And I bet Mama knew when you did it,
No
too,
doubt
didn't she?
about it. No, because back then you had more than just your mama. The people up the street from you, if they saw you doing
Neighbors,
wrong, and they had moms and dad permission to chastise us. You know, and we got home, you knew you were going to get it.
It's a different world.
No doubt about it.
I know.
No doubt.
When I got in trouble at school, my mother's first question was, "What did you do?" Well, how did your mother and your wife feel when you decided to go into the police force?
Well, Mama didn't say a whole lot about it, but I knew that she didn't necessarily like it, but she respected it. My wife, now this is when I first became a police officer, I was involved in another marriage. Divorced there. My wife now, and I think was a blessing because I was a police officer when she met me.
Yeah, so she knew what she was getting.
She knew what to expect, you know, and matter of fact, she used to meet me on some calls, you know, and I had to take the scanner from her because she would be listening on the scanner, you know, and kind of, you know, but it was fun.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and family life is very, very important to law enforcement because you need somebody to go home and vent to if necessary, you know, somebody who understands you.
So you were on the force 30 years?
30 years.
You've watched up close the lawlessness that's gone off the charts. I feel speechless and breathless as I watch this nation slide morally. The Bible talks about in the last days, the lawlessness is just going to abound. There's no respect for anybody or anybody's property. And I would think that you would have been on the front line to see that incline all the time.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the kids nowadays, Arthelene, they have no concept as to who God is. You know,
or right and wrong.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And at one time, everyone in the neighborhood pretty much respected law enforcement. And if something happened, even when I started back in 1983, a homicide would occur, I could go to people in the neighborhood and they would pretty much tell me what happened when I was working the streets. But nowadays, there's this code of silence.
Yeah.
Where we don't snitch.
Yeah.
You know, and so it has done a complete 360.
The only thing that will change it is giving your heart to the Lord.
No doubt about it.
That's the only
thing. No doubt
thing.
about it. No doubt about it. And two, kids and adults as well don't know how to deal with offense. You know, it's in the heart. You know, I offend you, you offend me. And people don't realize
I'm sick of that.
That God, I think he allows offense to show us where there's a weakness. You know, one of my biggest offense was I hate to be cut off in traffic. I would just, and I had to
Not
learn
our police officer.
Yes, I'm human.
Did you do road rage things?
No.
Oh, good.
None of that. You know, wouldn't even, I won't even go there. But I had to learn how to deal with that. And so I think offense will continue to show up in our lives until we learn how to handle it.
But our culture massages offenses.
Yeah.
I mean, I just read this week where some lady who's Muslim was offended because this store owner has bacon on one of their logos, and the store owner takes it down. I thought, I'd never take that down.
Yeah.
Because somebody was offended.
Yeah.
My things, get over it.
Yeah, but who knows what else could have developed if he had not done that. So,
Really?
You know, I think.
Yeah, you're thinking farther ahead than I am.
Sure. And we just have to learn how to deal with offense, you know.
But the world we live in, and it's on fire everywhere. It's only the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ that's going to change it.
No doubt about it. And I think that that was one of the things I wanted to do in my book, to try to reach people. You know, because there are some people in this world, the only Jesus that they're going to see is you and I. And the people in the church, you know, they go to church, have a good hallelujah time on Sunday. Okay, what are you going to do with that? We're not even, they don't even communicate with the people that they work with. We have people that we work with. We know that these people need help. And that's what Jesus met people right where they were. And we're just not doing that.
And you work with people who probably don't even know you're a Christian.
They don't. They don't. Everyone should know that.
If you just tuned in, I'm talking to Mr. Herman Hinton, and he is a deputy retired police chief from Birmingham, Alabama, who has written this novel. And you see a picture of it there on the screen. And we're going to put up the website. That's where you can go. I suppose I can get it on Amazon and all those places.
BarnesandNoble.com as well.
Barnes and Noble. And he said, I think it's probably very intriguing, but people will know that you are a Christian.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Reading this book.
Yeah.
How would this be for some assigned reading for kids?
Oh, I think I would start probably not necessarily with kids, but adults, around young adults, juniors in high school, because it really emphasizes family, you know, and relationships. And think about how much Jesus valued relationship. He said, if you come to the altar and you have you know that you have an ought with your brother, leave your offering.
Leave it there.
And go and be reconciled with your brother. So
and then I'll take your offering.
And then I'll take your offering. And so that shows you the priority that he has when it comes to relationships.
Haven't seen that in the church too much.
No. And then the other thing that I highlight in the book is victims of violent crimes.
Yeah.
They are an invaluable part of the criminal justice system. And I want victims of violent crimes to know that they are more than just pawns that officers and detectives use to round up criminals. They are very, very invaluable part of the criminal justice system. Very.
As with the cable TV and all the technology we carry around in our hands, we have news just like that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking as I was preparing for this, those who commit crime are not real smart, because today they're going to be caught. I'd say 99% of them will be caught.
Yeah. Technology.
It's different than when you started out.
No doubt about it. Even with cold cases, that's what really prompted police departments around the country to form cold case units, because they collected DNA evidence, they collected fingerprints, but we didn't have the technology that we have now. And so we're going back and solving a lot of those old cases.
That's amazing.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And then I used to tell my guys all the time, you know, when I worked homicide, it was just something that fascinated me about working homicide. Listen, guys, you know, it's mandatory for me as a leader to believe in God, because guess who solved the first homicide? God himself.
Yeah.
When Cain slew Abel. You know, so if you need help, ask the Lord.
Yeah.
Ask God, he'll help you.
The blood of your brother is
no doubt
crying
about
out.
it. No doubt about it.
I've often thought about this. This is a little bunny trail here, but all the babies we've aborted,
oh my God.
There's a lot of blood crying out from the ground.
No doubt.
From our oceans.
No doubt about it. That's another book.
You know, you have to take God seriously, because he hasn't changed.
No.
And you say that in this book you promote family, which is what this program is about. And what is so sad, the lack of fathers in our homes.
Yeah.
And these boys need to be taught. You don't take a girl to bed unless you're married to her.
Yeah.
You know, make her a wife before you make her a mother.
That's right.
And girls, you need to watch it too. I got 2 teenage grandsons. I said, boy, you know, you might have to be the one to say no nowadays.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say that earlier. That some of the girls, they're worse than some of the boys. You know, and that dad is very important in the family.
To both son and daughter.
You need a balance.
And you're a product of that.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Your dad was in the home?
Yeah, my dad was in the home up until he died in 1985, and he was my hero. You know, I looked up to my dad, and I never will forget when I graduated from the academy. You know, when he saw me in uniform for the first time.
Oh wow!
He said, "Man," he said, "that's the job I always wanted." You know,
really?
He said, but I couldn't have it because of the color of my skin. You know?
Oh my goodness!
And that hurt me, but it helped me to be the very best that I could be.
But his proudest moment, no doubt.
No doubt. And mine too.
And I want that for every child.
Yeah.
want them to have the father. We've got just a couple minutes. Let me mention one more time this book. A lot of people just love a good novel, and boy, they're hard to lay down. But the name of the book is Hidden Relations of the Homicide Detective. I want to talk to you a little bit about that. What's it like to be a homicide detective? What do you do all day?
Well, we are the voice of the dead. And I tell my guys, I would tell them every day, we adopted this philosophy by this French philosopher Voltaire. He said, to the living we owe respect, but to the dead we owe the truth.
Wow.
So it's our job to get out here and find out what happened. We're the voice of the dead, you know, and again, if you can't do it, and there are some police officers that can't work homicide because it's so stressful.
It's so, yeah.
I have mothers calling me, telling me about homicides that when the baby got killed 30 years ago. I wasn't even a police officer then, but I had to listen to them and sympathize with them, put my headache on the shelf and just do what I can.
But to have a leader like you were, to say to the dead we owe the truth, that has to have a huge impact on those young guys that you are leading.
No doubt about it.
But this isn't just a job. We're not just out finding clues.
Absolutely. It's a call. It's a call. And the guys in homicide who work homicide want to be there. They want to be there. And sometimes we will work 2 days in a row, you know, just nonstop.
And boy, you finally get it.
We finally get them. We finally get them.
What would be the percentage? I bet 95 to 99% of the time you're going to get it.
Well, our clearance rate exceeded the national average. The national average clearance rate for homicide, it's surprised. It's probably around 58%. But we manage 60-something, in some years 72 up to 76% of our homicides clear.
Well, I think God helped you.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
You know, when you put God first,
hey,
He's going to work with you.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
What a pleasure. We're out of time.
Wow.
And thank you so much for coming. But in these last few seconds, let me encourage you to put policemen and firemen and all these good folks on your prayer list every morning. I pray every morning before I come to the office. And I pray for my family, and I pray for the nation, and I pray for my grandkids, and I call them all by name. That's good. I got 8 great-grandchildren, so that's pretty good, don't you think?
I think it's excellent.
And so we need to, and I pray for Pastor Saeed in that Iran jail, that he'll be set free. But put the policemen on your list, and the firemen, and all those that are out there serving us, that God will keep them safe. Because He will when we ask Him. Out of time. But join me next time, remembering there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.